What's up, sellers? It's Rob Cosman from sellingfromthebeach.com, OAMasterclass.com. Today, real quick video, Amazon.ca marketplace withheld tax changes. I know, super duper exciting, but I'm going to keep it short, but it's really important. Some things have changed. I saw this on my account and some other clients messaged me, so I want to make sure I dug into it. So, what's changed? Now, this seems to have happened April 2022, okay? So they've talked about it for a while, and we really haven't seen it coming through, but Amazon.ca, similar to what they do on .com, where they'll collect and remit on your behalf, and I mean like collect the sales taxes in various states and actually remit it on your behalf. They've started doing that now on Amazon.ca. So in my case, for instance, I'm registered for GST and HST, but I'm not registered for Quebec sales tax, Saskatchewan sales tax, BC, or Manitoba. So what appears to have happened now is in April, they finally started collecting based on those different provinces. Now, the way the sales tax works is it's based on the ship to location, so the province that it's going to, right? So as you can see here, these are a couple screenshots I've grabbed. So depending on how you book your sales, if you're following my method where you're just doing it once a month, if you follow my method where you're doing it based on the reporting, like the actual disbursement, or if you're using Taxomate, which is what I use now, all of it will work, but I just kind of want to walk through and so that everybody understands. So one of the favorite reports that I always used to go to was the date range report. So if you go in, this is all in Seller Central, this is on the Amazon.ca side, and the examples that I'm showing you are for an account, which is mine, that is registered for GST and HST, okay? So Amazon collects that GST and HST, it comes in my disbursements. Now what's happening is they're also starting to collect some of the provincial sales taxes, but withholding them from my disbursement, and they're paying them on their behalf, okay? So depending on where you go, check out my other videos, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now, but check out some of my other videos where I walk through different methods on how you want to book your sales taxes. So you can go to payments, date range reports, and you click the summary, and that's what these two screenshots are here. The top one is a summary from March, which you can see, okay, here's the product sales taxes collected, there's the refunds, Amazon obligated tax withheld is 0. If you were to look on your flip side, probably on Amazon.com, if you're making sales there, you'll see that the Amazon obligated tax withheld, there'll be a number there. So then all of a sudden now in April, on my .ca side, as you can see in the lower figure, there's an Amazon obligated tax withheld. So this is the monthly summary. I've just taken the one-pager PDF that I like to use. It's really good. A lot of clients use it. And then I've also gone through and I've done the same thing, but I've selected the transaction. So you can see the little transaction option, and you can go through and pull all the details. And I'll show you that in the next one. So now this is from the transaction report. So these are just some samples that when you download it, instead of the summary, which you get the PDF transaction, you get this Excel file, CSV file, boom, open it up. Now, if you can see what these are new. So the tax collection model, so you can see this, for instance, this sale here in Quebec, the very first line. It's this combined TCS and MTC. So MTC, I think, is like the marketplace tax collection. I don't know what TCS is, but I assume that's me. Because what I did was I went through and I wanted to double check what's actually happening. And these are the calculations that I did over here. So I said, okay, the product sales tax, $11.96. See, there's a minus $7.97. So this is what they withheld. And I said, okay, so what is the difference then between the product sales tax that they charged on, the $11.96, and what they withheld? It was a $3.99. I divided it out. It's 5%. So that's the GST. So this is going to Quebec. So the other additional 9 point whatever percent it is the Quebec portion of the sales tax that they're actually charging the customer, but withholding and sending it in for me. So because I'm only registered for GST, I'm only paying the 5%. So I thought this was interesting. BC sales. So I guess they're maybe not doing the PST for BC yet because I'm not registered for BC PST, but this one was shipped there. 308. They didn't withhold any, so it's still just a straight 5% GST. But you can see I picked a couple more examples here. Saskatchewan, I'm only collecting the GST. They're taking care of the rest. And same with Winnipeg, only the 5% for Manitoba. They're taking care of the PST. And then as you can see, like, look, for instance, here, this one's to Ontario. I'm doing HST because that's what I'm registered for. There's 0 on the marketplace withheld, so I still get all that. Okay, so that's how you can go through and just kind of wrap your head around it and verify the transactions. And then, depending on how you book it, as I said, like, check my YouTube channel. I've got multiple videos on how to do it from the monthly summary, how to do it from this payment report, which is actually what I get in the disbursements. This is the most accurate. It's easier to match. But what I really do is I just use Taxamate. I'll put a link down below for my Taxamate affiliate, and just works because it automatically does it. So what I did was I went through and I said, okay, here's an example. I just want to double check so that I know that my Taxamate is configured correctly and things are matching up. So I went through and I said, okay, same thing. I go to the payment reports and I just look at the actual report from that disbursement, that settlement period, and I compared it to the journal entry. And these ones here all total up to the 1788 correctly. And then these ones down here, as you can see, total up to the negative tax, that I know that my net tax that I'm going to have to pay is correct. And that's taking into account the item withheld, the marketplace facilitator. So you can see this here, marketplace facilitator tax. So that is the PSTs that they're charging and taking care of. So that is accounted for in my journal entry for my Taxamate, and everything works. Okay. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more idea. So remember, if you are in fact registered for PST in those provinces, you have to put those numbers in so that it will collect and actually give you the cash. If you're not registered now, it appears that Amazon's going to start doing it anyways and sending it off to the government, which makes life easier. But if you're registered for GST and HST, which if you're buying stuff in Canada and selling stuff in Canada, you should, then you're still going to continue to collect it and get that in the disbursements. But how you book your journal entries and when you're recording your revenue, you want to make sure you're doing it correctly, right? And that you're not going to go back and say, like if you were to go back to here, and incorrectly just record 3779 and not the negative 585, you're going to end up paying the government more than you needed to by $585 because they've already collected and remitted. So make sure you're doing it right, you're booking things correctly. Get any more questions, make sure you head over to my group, sellingfromthebeach.com. That's where we hang out. Hopefully this was informative. See you in the next video.